always ahead. Asyad is always with you, providing end-to-end logistics solutions that help your business grow. Always adaptable, from e-commerce fulfillment and inventory management to last-mile delivery. Always available. As Oman's leading warehouse provider, our extensive network offers storage and distribution for dry, ambient, chilled, and frozen goods. Always advancing. Our global freight forwarding network reaches over 90 geographies across 6 continents, offering faster and more reliable freight forwarding solutions via land, air, and sea. Always assured. Our integrated systems provide end-to-end visibility and real-time tracking, seamlessly integrated with your business. Always ahead isn't just a promise, it's our standard. Asyad Logistics. Fast forward your business.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new Asyad Group's webinars. Today's webinar is titled "The Impact of Sustainable Cold Chain to Reduce Food Loss." My name is Rahma Shaqsi, and I'll be your moderator for today's discussion, which is hopefully will be more beneficial and engaging to you. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword. It's essential practice, especially in cold chain logistics. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, approximately 1/3 of the logistic food is produced globally is lost or wasted each year. In monetary terms, that's around $940 billion is wasted due to food. A significant portion of this amount occurs due to inefficiencies in the cold chain from production to retail. So, needless to say, the cold chain logistics plays a pivotal role in changing the narrative. Our expert today will discuss this role and highlight how cold chain can preserve food quality, reduce spoilage, and optimize resources. Here in Oman, the logistics sector is rapidly evolving to address this challenge, with the Oman's Vision 2040 roadmap emphasizing food security and sustainability. Companies are adopting innovative ideas and solutions to practice and ensure fresh food. This webinar brings together experts from various segments in supply chain to discuss challenges, innovations, solutions to optimize the cold chain and minimize food loss. Together, we will discuss actionable strategies to ensure food reaches consumers efficiently and sustainably. Now, please allow me to introduce our distinguished panelist, Dr. Mahmoud Sakhi, CEO of Al Madina Logistic. Welcome, Dr. Mahmoud.
Thank you very much.
And Hilal Al-Riyami, Group Supply Chain Manager at FDO. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Rahma.
Our third expert is Krishnakant Pandey, Head of Supply Chain and Logistics at KMG Ramdas Shipping.
Thank you.
Welcome. Last but not least, Mr. Tom Annenberg, VP Commercial Strategy and Product Development at Asyad Group.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So together we will tackle the challenges, innovations, and future prospects of Oman cold chain logistics. Before we jump into the questions, let me share with you a fascinating fact. According to the International Institute of Refrigeration, improved cold chain logistics can reduce loss up to 40% in developing countries. This underscores the importance of today's discussion and role of Oman plays a regional logistical hub. For all of our audience, please feel free to share your questions in the chat box, and we'll make sure that at the end of this webinar, we'll address them through our experts who will be able, inshallah, to answer you. So let's start with the questions. My first question will be for Dr. Mahmoud. How do you define a sustainable cold chain in today's logistic landscape?
Thank you very much for having us. Sustainability, I think, is a very important aspect, especially in today's world, when you discuss especially the food sector and supply chain. The main purpose of that is to keep it sustainable and continuous in the same level and same quality. So proper cold chain, proper supply chain management is very critical to have the food, especially sustainability, not only for the food, it also adds to the pharmaceutical. It has also some chemicals that need also special temperature controlled handling, transportation and storage. So sustainability is very important that we have continuous proper cold chain of our, especially the most important product is the food which we eat. So also this will lead to also having a proper also healthy society and healthy people. So we have to maintain all aspects of supply chain that will be sustainable in the future also. Of course, we can discuss more in detail on this subject, inshallah.
That's really interesting. You have mentioned that this is really required some technical and some requirements in energy, that cold chain are energy intensive. How do you address, Mr. Tom, how do you address cost concerns while maintaining efficiency at Asyad Group warehouses?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here today, an interesting discussion. So yeah, energy and cold chain is a big question. How do you manage that? Because what we see at our cold chain warehouse up in Halban is that we have a big diversified assortment of cargo that we store, from frozen fish, frozen meat, but also to perishables. So you need to maintain different temperatures. So there's a lot of modern techniques you can implement in your warehouse management system, temperature controlled, etc., etc. But I think one of the things that we need to go back to is the basics, is the people operating in the warehouse. It's how we go about making sure that they're also getting shot, we're having the right maintenance on the warehouses, and let the cold not get out, especially in an environment that we're operating in, as here in Oman, where we have a hot climate. It becomes even more important that we maintain our warehouse at a certain standard, but also train our staff to make sure that they adhere to the operating procedures that we're setting down. And then, of course, we're also looking at how can we get better energy, can we install solar panels, etc., etc. But it is, I think for us, a lot of it is make sure that we have the right maintenance, make sure that we train our people so they understand the consequences of leaving a cell door open for a longer period of time, but also making sure that we maintain the right temperatures, because if you can maintain the right temperature and you don't have to shift your goods around different cells, but you have dedicated temperatures, you don't have to cool down or heat up, because that also costs a lot of energy. So it's a lot about discipline and make sure that you do the right things. And then, of course, look at the newest technology that comes out.
Wow, that's good. So you have taken us to a journey of Asyad Group, actually our Asyad warehouses, technologies. I'd like to know from Mr. Hilal the innovative tools and technologies you have implemented to enhance sustainability at FDO.
Thank you very much, Rahma. So when we speak about the seafood, I think it's the most temperature sensitive products that you have to make sure that the quality and the freshness and the safety of delivering these products to the consumers are safe, and it is directly connected to their health. So you have to make sure that there is no room for mistakes during the entire chain of the logistics. When it comes to the technologies that we have introduced, very recently we have trials with one of the local SME companies who have added the Internet of Things elements to their fleet of trucks. in which the temperature sensors are real time, and they keep sending the alerts wherever there is a deviation in the temperature of the shipment or the truck. So this allows a continuous monitoring of the temperature of the truck, and again, it saves the quality and the freshness of the products. As well, they have introduced a new concept which helps in preserving the temperature while loading and offloading the products to the outlets and the markets, where we have that loss of a degree or plus. So they're currently working on a new system that preserves the temperature all the time from the dispatch to the destination. And as I mentioned, this has been done with a local SME company. They have been incubated by Asiad some time back, and they're currently our partner when it comes to the logistics services. So such technologies, including as well the blockchain, the AI, the processing of the data, processing of the information, helps in getting a real-time data that helps the operation team to make sure that the fleet is operating at the highest standards, and as well to make sure that the loss of the products is minimized or eliminated fully. As you know, the objective of any trucks that leaves leaves to the destination is not to come back with any remaining products. So all the products has to be served, all the products has to be shelved. So such technologies helps in making sure that the freshness and the quality of the product is maintained all the time and during the full chain of the logistics.
That's really good. That's really good. How about now you have taken us through the production and all process that happens in the middle. How about the end user or the consumer, Mr. Krishnakant? What role do consumers play in reducing food waste, and how can you educate the retailers from your side?
Thank you for the great question. Customers play a key role in reducing the waste food by purchasing what only they need, checking the expiry dates, and avoiding overbuying. When I say avoiding overbuying, that means purchasing frequently and opting the right pack size instead of buying in bulk. Retailers can support this by offering range of pack sizes and promoting FIFO, first in first out, for efficient food rotation. I'm from the retail background. I have seen retailers who setting a quantity cap for buying for the B2C customers to ensure product distribution properly and reduce waste. To reduce waste further, retailers should ensure that stock availability consistently, preventing customers from overbuying when items are in short supply. Effective inventory management ensures availability throughout. Retailers can also educate consumers through labels, apps that track expiry dates, and proper guidance on storage method, such as how to store perishable items. For examples, some retailers provide the guidance to store milk products at the right temperature to extend the freshness. By encouraging responsible purchasing, availability of the stock, and guidance on expiry dates and storage method, both customers and retailers can collaborate to reduce the food waste. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnakant. Actually, you have mentioned very interesting and important information. Especially we are heading to Ramadan, and I know that the consuming of food it will be very high. So we need to control it, and we need to share the awareness with the end user and consumers regarding this. So let's have a question, Dr. Mahmoud. What measures do you take to reduce food loss during transportation?
Yes. Yeah, this is very important, I think, stage in the supply chain, the transportation. So what we do normally that we try to have proper, first of all, the demand analysis with our client who store with us. So they have proper analysis of how the demand is there for each region, for each project. So based on that, the loading process starts in these trucks. The other part is that we optimize the loading also in the trucks. So most of our trucks, delivery trucks, they have 3 temperature compartments. So we can store more product, more different temperature controlled products in the same delivery. Also, of course, the other part is the optimizing the route, how the truck drives, how it goes to each point to deliver. So this also maximize and make it more fuel efficient in terms of delivery. Of course, we have it also all this based on technology. So all our trucks control the temperature and also connected with our system. So we have real data on how the truck is being driven, how it's being loaded, how also the way being unloaded in terms of, as mentioned, how much time the door is open. Plus also we monitor all the, you can say the temperature while in transit. We add also more, not only this you can say in delivery, also when we receive the containers from the suppliers. So we have also this monitoring system inside the containers. So we maintain, we understand how the temperature change during the transit, whether it maintains proper temperature or not. So all this help. Plus, of course, as mentioned also, I think the part of the workforce who will be handling the loading and handling the offloading process. So should understand also the importance of keeping the cold chain properly intact, because this will increase, of course, the shelf life of the product and the safety and the quality of the product. So we try to tackle all these areas in terms of the truck quality, monitoring system, temperature control, routing planning, the staff training, and plus, of course, as I mentioned, the technology who calculate the demands properly for each product, each region, and delivery.
Thank you, Doctor, for taking us to transportation technologies which is applied at Al Madina Logistics, just to make sure that we have some measurements on some tasks and events to be controlled and make sure that we have a fresh food at the end. So what difference, Mr. Hilal, what is the difference between the traditional cold chain and the sustainable one?
Yeah. So now speaking about the traditional cold chain and the sustainable cold chain, we just had a quick discussion, myself, Dr. Mahmoud, and Tom, regarding how technology is evolving and how things are moving fast, in which that we as a business experts has to cope with those changes. So traditionally, if the operation team looking after the logistics or the movement of the fleet and trucks, they will have to do some sort of manual entry of data and some sort of analysis of the entered data, and then to advise the drivers of the trucks for any issues related to the temperature loss or anything. But with the introduction of the Internet of Things, of the blockchain, now all the data, all the information being processed at centralized processing data centers, in which the information is being translated or transferred to the drivers of the trucks, real time, on spot, if they will have to call back and return the truck to the dispatch area if there is any loss of temperature. So with the technology being introduced to the logistics and the cold chain, it's now it's easy for the logistics team or the operations team to guide the fleet, whether they are moving towards or the movement of the fleet is safe, and the temperature of the trucks are monitored. If there is any sort of expected spoilage of the load, then the driver will be called to return the truck to the dispatch area. This is all because of the technology being introduced to the supply chain and cold chain. And again, it's the capacity or the capability of the blockchain to process all these data and help in making the decision right away and make sure that the loss is being contained or maintained. And again, saves the product from being spoiled, which if it is delivered to the consumer, it will have the issues or the challenges of safety and health matters. So with the technology being part of being an essential part of the cold chain and supply chain, this helps a lot the food processors or food makers make the right decisions, reduce the lost time, reduce the spoiled products, and as well reduce the cost of managing the logistics fleet.
Thank you. Actually, I can see that technology is really crucial for the cold chain to be more sustainable and to even compete globally. So storing perishable food items is more challenging, actually, I believe, and I don't know if you agree with me. Like any other goods, or maybe more than other goods. What are the primary hurdles, Mr. Tom?
So if we look at storing perishables or frozen food, right, I think we need to go back to where we start with the fish that's coming out of the water, right, or the vegetable that's coming from the land, or what is it that we're storing, right? So it's about understanding the product first and foremost. Right, what is it that we are having our hands on? So today we are hosted here in our warehouse where we have our normal goods. We have electronics stored with clothes, with other stuff, right? So we have one temperature here. But when it comes to food products and perishables, it's about understanding what is it that I'm getting my hands on, right? It might be frozen fish that has already been processed on the trawlers, on sea. They're coming in, they've been handling, the trucks have a certain temperature, and we're going to bring it into a certain temperature in the storage. But we also have vegetables coming in from the farmers, and we want to increase the shelf life, as we discussed earlier, right, to make sure that we don't have waste, right? One of the discussions that I had a couple of years ago with some of the tailors was about we were talking about that we would enhance our storage capacity, we would upgrade storage, etc., etc. And then one of the questions that we got was, yeah, but if you are enhancing and modernizing your facility, then we will have to pay more in storage. And I said, yeah, that is eventually we want to get our money back. We're not we are running a profitable organization. But I said, but I turned the question around and said, how much waste do you have today? And I think that the general answer from the audience was about 50% of their products they threw away. I said, but if we can come up with a solution that from farm to kitchen will lower the waste from 50%, and your waste will only be 10 or 15%, right?
That's good.
Then his revenue would go up, meaning that he would have to accept a higher cost from us, but the consumer will be the one benefiting. So I think, like we're sitting here, the four of us, we've been talking about getting the fresh product from the sea. We talked about storing it in a facility. We're talking about distribution, but also what is the consumer doing with it. So I think understanding the product that you have and also understanding who is the end receiver, that is the key. Then we can, if we don't understand that, and we don't understand what we have at hand, then it doesn't matter how a great technology we install, because technology is there. It's there to get, but we need to understand what it is that we're handling. And I always used to say in the past, handling a pair of Nike shoes or a box of frozen fish is logistically the same. It's the same handlings that we go through, but understanding the product, right? Understanding how do you treat it, what temperature do you keep it on, right? I think that is the big differentiator, and that's how we're going to look at it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Actually, as you said, technologies is there, it's available, but to understand how to use it, how to actually accommodate it in your systems, in your process, that's really crucial. That's why I have a question for Mr. Krishna Kant. How do you coordinate with producers and retailers to ensure seamless cold chain operations? Because I think this is really important for them.
Well, really. So, we believe that effective coordination between or with producers and retailers is essential for seamless cold chain operations. It starts with sharing accurate forecasting and demand supply planning for production of right quantity of the products. Further, maintaining optimal temperature condition throughout the cold chain starts from producers, primary transportation, warehouse, secondary transportation and retail outlet is critical for preserving product quality. To enhance this, we have integrated advanced technology for real-time temperature monitoring, allowing us to track the product across the supply chain and address the issue such as temperature fluctuating during transport. Additionally, robust replenishment system that supports in minimizing the overstock and out of stock situation. We take pride in having built modern warehouses equipped with feature of warehouse management system, high-rise heavy-duty racks, mobile racking and shuttle racks. Our facility provide wide range of temperature control for frozen, chiller, cold and ambient temperature controls. Our transport management system supports us an efficient distribution network, enabling us to deliver the consumer products across the country. In summary, cold chain supply chain rely on a strong collaboration, advanced technology, accurate forecasting, efficient stock management. By close coordination with producers and retailers, we ensure that products reach customers on time, intact, accurate and freshness.
Thank you, Mr. Krishna Kant. Again, another question related to the, let's say, the retail level. Dr. Mahmoud, how do you manage inventory to maintain or to minimize actually food waste at your at the logistic, Al Madina logistic?
I think in this part is very important, especially when you, they say in the logistic, you're strong as your weakest link.
Exactly.
So if you do all excellent from supplier, shipping, storage, inbound, outbound, handling, transportation, but if retail is not properly handling the product at the end, you're breaking all these efforts. So understanding the retail, to understand the importance of keeping the cold chain properly, it will add, of course, value to them also in terms of more sales, more customer trust and reliability on this product. It's very important, and we have to educate retailer on these issues. The other one is that we have to improve also our regulation systems, where that every player in the supply chain maintain the cold chain standards and operation. This one side. The other side, as mentioned about demand and forecasting, of the product is very important. So you deliver the right product and the right quantity in each retail shop. And also you have a proper software which can understand the FIFO, first expiry, first out. The retail shop should understand also, they should have visibility on the data and information, so they can also plan their promotions, maybe special offers before expiry of the product. So it is all interlinked. As mentioned, the collaboration is very important. And as you mentioned, also technology available. We have some clients that they can forecast what each shops need next week more than what we know as a local, because they analyze the data. They know if you have holiday, okay. If they know also other countries have holiday that might be coming Oman for tourism, so they need some product to be available in some retail shops, some restaurants. So all these play a vital role in how to improve the retail also contribution in supply chain. And of course, the software plays a vital role, especially when you have a software warehouse management system that can also connect with the client software and also retail shop software. So we have that link integration. So you have real time data and the real time analysis of the product, which can, I think this will enhance the cold chain in the retail shops.
Oh, that's really great. Actually, I do believe that data is the future. As we look to the future of cold chain logistics, it becomes clear that the path forward is paved for innovation, sustainability, and strategic collaboration. Oman, with its advantages, geographic location, and growing logistics infrastructure, is well positioned to become a hub for cold chain excellence in the region. According to the World Bank, investigating and in modern cold chain infrastructure, it's not only to reduce food loss, but also to bolster food security and economic resilience. With this in mind, let's explore the potential trajectories for Oman's cold chain sector. I think with Oman's Vision 2040, we can link it in a way that how do we envision the future of cold chain logistics in Oman? Who would like, yeah, Mr. Krishnakant?
The cold chain logistics in Oman looks bright and promising, driven by technological advancement, growing demand of fresh products and sustainability. With ongoing infrastructure development, we will see more temperature control warehouses, better storage solutions, and efficient transport network. The e-commerce rise will require efficient last mile delivery, hyperlocal services, and quick commerce solution for ensuring timely delivery of fresh products. Technology like auto routing, real-time tracking, robust control tower mechanism, and temperature sensor will enhance product quality, reduce waste, and improve efficiency. Stricter food safety, security, sustainability regulation will encourage eco-friendly practices such as energy efficient storage and transportation. Overall, the future will focus on innovation, efficiency, and sustainability in cold chain logistics.
Sahila, do you agree with the innovation, actually the invasion of the future of the cold chain, which is already actually applied in the KMG Ramdas shipping? Is it applicable the same at FDO?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Now, if we speak at a wider range, the location of Oman, the infrastructure, land transportation, the ports, Oman being the gate to the east and far east, It is the future of the cold chain in the region, in GCC and Middle East as well. When we speak about the availability of the shipping lines, availability of the containers, and accessibility to the East and Far East, the future of the cold chain in Oman is very promising. That's part. That's one part. The other part is the well structured infrastructure in the country, where Oman is connected with almost the biggest market and consumers in the Gulf region, be it Saudi Arabia and Emirates and Yemen as well. So that sort of location and geographical feature makes it very promising that 2040 vision, with the focus on the cold chain and supply chain as well, will boost Oman position globally. That's one part. The other thing is when we talk about the increasing consumption of the locals of the regional markets. It's increasing year by year. When we speak about the seafood products, Ramadan is one of the high seasons for us. Friday is the fish day in Oman. All the families will be consuming fish on Friday.
Even in Ramadan?
Yeah, even in Ramadan. So you go out on Friday, you smell the fish in the air. So the market consumption is increasing year by year. And thanks to those promoting the seafood products with the nutritions, with the diet needs, it makes it boosting year after year. And again, the quality and the freshness of the Omani seafood products that's been well attracted by the regional markets. That makes it very competitive and as well will help in like increasing or getting bigger in parallel with the cold chain improvements and developments.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, I just want to add so if I look at Oman and I've been here for 3 years now and seen the developments going on. One of the exciting part is watching what FDO is doing and how the fish development is going, because we cannot go about that we are having a very, very big pond just at our front door, right? We have a lot of beautiful fish that comes out of the ocean. So the whole fish industry is one of the things that we're looking at. So Oman, I believe with our geographical location, we will also in the future be a hub, not only for what we see as frozen fish today, but there's also a very, very big fresh fish industry. And with our airports that we have, if we look at Muscat, we're just next to the airport here. We can hear the flights coming overhead at the moment, but also looking at where the fishery development is taking place down at Duqm, there is a brand new airport that can take care of that. So our connectivity to the rest of the world, not only for when we talk about the frozen, but also the fresh, because it's a huge market, so we're geared for that. Then looking at our own market ourselves, so we're not the biggest consumer market in the GCC, right? We have 5 million people that we need to feed every day, but next to us, and that is exactly what you mentioned, is that we have a huge market. So the developments that we see in Oman is incredible. We're having a airport free zone coming up that would also cater to these kind of things. So I think that we are getting there where we want to be as Oman, and we just need to promote ourselves. We've been a bit modest in the past years, right? I think we need to go out and shout from the rooftops and say, hey, we're here, and get the world to see what we can offer more than we're doing today. Because we have the connectivities, both with the airports and the seaports. We have products that we are proud of, right? To export when it comes to perishables and to food. So again, I think Oman is in the next 5 years, you will see a tremendous development from our side, and that encourages us, right? I think that's a great thing to see, and that is also what we're getting ready for as an industry, right? A logistics industry. We are upping our standards, because the world outside of us demands higher standards when it comes, especially to cold chain, and you see that development throughout the country that is mentioned, right? So I would say, bring it on, right? We are ready, so and we are also trying to showcase that outside the borders.
Wonderful.
Can I add on this?
Yeah, sure.
Just to add on this, I think one important that Oman should work on it is setting the base right for cold chain especially, and food, you can say handling, whether storage or distribution or marketing. So government and regulation should set the standards in terms of regulations and quality. And private sector is ready to invest once these are clear. One example, we done that Sohar Logistic Hub. We developed cold chain inspection facility, so all import and export being properly inspected, with also private sector labs investment. Currently we have over 6 labs checking and making sure the product are safe and quality. This helps also to increase Omani exports in the food, especially the fisheries, because many countries, as you mentioned, have a standard of quality. So they have to see the cold chain completely is properly maintained. One of that area was lacking before was the inspection facilities, whether in the port or in the land borders. With this facility, Omani export increased now, as I remember, tripled now.
That's interesting.
This one area. The other area which mentioned, I think, resources. These food resources are limited. So we have to keep it in proper condition where we can reduce the waste as maximum as we can. Because finally we have limited produce. This one area. Second area, I think all our region is developing. Even if you see subcontinent or Africa, the income is increasing, business is increasing, so definitely the demand for food will increase. So Oman should look that future, that how we can play a bigger role in providing the food in this region also. As I know, Gulf region, one meeting, Saudi Arabia said we want to increase our import from Oman 10 times,
Wow.
especially the fish.
So we are the pioneer for
So we have to work on
exporting.
that, yes. And of course, encouraging the technology that can enhance this operation, facilities in Oman. I think there is good, potential for Oman to play a bigger role in this.
Yeah, that's really good news for me, and I'll be always shouting that we are always here, we are always adaptable, we are always actually trying to do our best to become the pioneer in the cold chain logistics. So from an expert perspective, what steps should the industry take today to ensure sustainable, resilient cold chain for tomorrow?
No, and I think we discussed a lot about it, right? So it's about, and I think very valid point, what are the standards, right? What is the standards that we want to operate in, right? Do we have in Oman a set standard for cold chain logistics? We know that in the US, and we're losing the US and the EU standards a lot when we talk about new buildings, etc. But what is our standards? So if we want to be part of that big game, and it is a huge industry, the whole cold chain industry, then we need to have standards. But we as a sector, we can do the investments, but will the users pay for it? Because it comes at a price. We have to recognize that, right? So if there's no standards set from the government, then we might have a problem here. But I think that will come, right? And then it's also about, so what do we do? And I think it's work together, keep a dialogue, right? Keeping an active dialogue amongst us. Don't see each other as competitors, but also talk about how can we strengthen each other in this market, right? And I think that's for me is a big issue, to have that ongoing, be key to success in having this ongoing dialogue, right? And then hear from the FDOs of the world, because they are ultimately the ones who catches the fish and brings it to the consumer market. The three of us sitting here next to him we just in between, and we can, if we fail to deliver, then the consumer will not buy. And I think that's also the discussion we need to have. What are your criteria?
You're right, Tom. As you said, the moment that the regulations are put and then the local standards have been identified for the cold chain, then I think all of us will be in a happy moment in which that I'll make sure that my product will be safely delivered to the consumers, and as well you will have the guidelines and the standards that helps you in operating the cold chain storage and the cold chain logistics as well. The other thing is maybe one of the things that will be encouraging to be part of the cold chain global business is, as I read that last year the total spend in the cold chain was something around 230 billion USD. So if we can secure 1% of that, that's 2.3 billion USD for Oman out of the total spend in the cold chain. So with the regulations being set, with the standards being identified, and each single party of the entire chain knows what needs to be done, then I think that will help in sustaining the cold chain in Oman, and as well make it resilient, despite whatever demand, forecast, supply changes that happens across the country or the region. Then the cold chain in Oman and the supply chain will be ready for any changes.
All right, thank you very much for. Do you have something to add?
On this,
Yeah,
I
please.
think sustainability of especially logistics sector and product. One of the areas also that government standard to be clear. I know it comes with a higher cost a little bit sometime, but finally it will come down because you have more players, more service providers. And instead of 1, 2, 3, you have hundreds. Plus the client or the trader will have more product to sell and less waste. So once, as you say, 50% of waste, or let's say even 30% coming down to 5%, 10%, is huge profit for the businesses. But in the beginning, of course, they feel that no, they are paying extra. And this also we experience in our Sohar Logistics Hub. In the beginning, they have to come for inspection. So they were a little bit discussing the extra cost they have to pay. But once they saw that their sales and export increased 3 times, they are very happy now compared to what they're making as a profit. Other area is renewable energy or solar energy, especially in the cold chain, because as you mentioned, the climate here in Oman, you have to maintain it 24/7. Minus 18, 20, we have to keep it.
Actually, we have a question about this from one of our audience online regarding the temperature. If we can, how can we use the technologies in reducing temperature and cooling to improve and reduce carbon emissions and protect the environment?
Yes. So what we're using is solar. Now we have in our main distribution center in Barka over 2.1 mega solar system energy. So here also another aspect by government should be that how we can support this type of initiatives and have more facilities energized by the solar system. Plus, of course, using electrical, material handling products, machineries, software, using software, so we have less paperwork, all electronic, all system-driven. This all will help, I think, to maintain and have sustainable logistic and supply chain operation in Oman.
If I can add on to that, so I can't remember what they call themselves. I will call them the Club of Minus 15. It is an initiative that came up a couple of years ago where some of the big cold chain companies decided to go from minus 18 to minus 15. And this 3 degrees difference would save a huge amount of CO2. I can't remember it out of my head. I just remember now when the question came up. Right, otherwise we'll look it up. But it's also something that we could look into and saying, hey, do we want to join the Club of Minus 15, because that will lower the carbon footprint as well. So we are, I think, throughout the whole cold chain, there's a lot of different initiatives. Is it lowering with 3 degrees? Is that the solution? I don't know. I'm not that much an expert, but I definitely know what we're talking about. Using solar power, we are in an environment where we can use a lot of solar power, and we don't have to go to use the conventional energy. But also we are also in Oman, where we are very much looking at renewable energies, right? And I don't want to talk about green hydrogen, etc. But there are other, in the future, there will be much more different energy sources that we can tap into to make it a sustainable.
Yeah, so all efforts actually collaborating just to reserve the energy or reduce the consumption actually of energy. Another question from the audience online. How about working on underwater cold storage systems which would significantly reduce the thermal loss, thus further reducing the energy consumption?
Ooh, interesting question. On the
an
underwater
Yeah.
storage, right? I'm like, I was just visualizing fish swimming themselves in cold cell, right? So we don't have to do anything. But I think I think that the thought process is great. But then I look from a logistical point of view, we might have some challenges to have underwater storage. But I think having the temperature, yes, but how do we get in and out of the storage facility? I think that's where we might need to sit down and brainstorm a little bit.
I think this usually done in especially the data centers, maybe more than logistics. You can put it
Okay.
in water, but in Oman there are some effort. I think now they're trying to do it like on Jabal Akhdar because the weather is more sustainable for especially in the data center. But adding on this, how we can improve also more. One of the initiatives that we done and I think it should be regulated. The facility itself structure design standards in terms of flow, what material we should use, which can reserve the temperature, the wall types, the docks, the door type. All this will help. Sandwich panel if you have, the cooling system, which we are using now in Berka. I think the only one which is ammonia-based system, which is more environment friendly. So this all, I think government can set regulations that can improve better sustainability.
So I think as a concept, it's more or less like what we do in fish farming. So the farm goes all the way down in the sea where the fish will be reserved or will be contained in a specific zone. But that's for the purpose of feeding and growing up the fish. It's not about the stocking and keeping the temperature controlled. But it's an interesting topic that needs to be further evaluated and explored. To me, I can see it from the concept of having the farm, which is currently having the reserve of the fish, and then the vessel which will be harvesting the fish, in which the in between will be the cold storage. But again, it will require lots of assessments, and there could be a challenge of having sometimes the high currents, in which those stores will need to be very well structured to make sure that the warehouse don't move to somewhere else in the ocean. So as a concept, I think this is one of the interesting things, and we might see it in future.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Sure. Actually, because you have mentioned before, Dr. Mahmoud and Mr. Hilal, about the startups, incubation, and accelerators, we have questions from them. What sort of opportunities do you provide for cold chain if they have a space, if they have an idea? What sort of opportunities in cold chain sector for them?
Okay, I'll start with your permission, Dr. Mahmoud. We had an initiative with one of the local SMEs, which is an solar energy company called Nafad, in which they proposed a truck that is getting the energy from the solar cells, where the entire cooling system will be the power for the cooling system will be generated from the solar cells. And that was one of the interesting topics that they came up with. Unfortunately, during the piloting of the project, it seems like the cost, as we speak now, is very high to to implement such initiative. But the outcomes of the initiatives were very promising, and the results were almost the same results that we're currently getting from using the normal fueling system for the trucks. But with the solar power generated power by the solar cells, it reduced the consumption of the fuel up to 30% of the fleet, and that's a big money when it comes to the fleet of trucks, be it the small, the mid-size, and the long hauls as well. But as a concept, as a trials, there have been a chance for one of the local companies to do such an experiment, and we do welcome all the other SMEs to come up with their opportunity, with their initiatives, and there is always a room to explore the potential out of them.
That's really interesting. Is there any platform just to apply for their ideas or initiatives, or they just have to approach you?
Yeah, it's recently the Oman Investment Authority. They have been holding different hackathons in which those SMEs have been invited to participate in those hackathons, where the evaluated and selected ideas will be then handed over to the arm in the sector. So we have received like 3 or 4 initiatives from the latest hackathon being done by Oman Investment Authority. So those platforms of the hackathons and the incubators, they are always there. They're always open for the public. It's just a matter of the SMEs to pick the whenever the announcement is there. They just need to step in, and they're more than welcome.
Yeah, and I would say outside the hackathons, if you feel that you have a good idea, right? I'm always up for a challenge or for challenging a good idea. So I would invite people to that think they have a good idea to reach out and have a healthy discussion. I would invite them for a coffee, and we can have a discussion about the idea. And not necessarily that we will adopt the idea, but I think we have an obligation from the industry with the knowledge that are sitting here, only the 4 of us, right? It's quite some experience and knowledge sitting. So we could always give feedback, right? I think that is what I would invite them to do, is reach out.
All right. So
good cup of coffee is always good, right? So
very good.
I
Thank
think very good thought process. What we have done out of the box, I'm talking about. So we have set up a suggestion box even in our warehouses. So sometimes if, say for example, 10 suggestions came, out of that, if we pick one, that one is important, though we entertain all 10. So likewise, if you discuss about idea, out of 50 ideas, maybe one is very, very important to implement.
Exactly. I do believe with you. So there is an invitation from our experts just to reach out. Also, we have like hackathons. You can just join and work on your ideas. We come up to the end. We need to conclude, and with the future of the cold chain logistics lies on our ability to innovate, collaborate, and to commit to be more sustainable practices. We have heard today about the transformative impact of advanced technologies, the importance of strategic partnership, and the tangible benefits of energy-efficient solutions. Oman is uniquely positioned to lead this change in the region. Thank you for joining us in this important discussion. We encourage you to stay tuned and connected to share your thoughts and to continue exploring how to make the cold chain logistic to be more sustainable. Thank you for our distinguished panelists, and I wish if we can connect in the future further.
thank you for having us.
Thank you very much,
very much.
Rahman. Thank you very much for the audience.
Always ahead. Asyad is always with you, providing end-to-end logistics solutions that help your business grow. Always adaptable, from e-commerce fulfillment and inventory management to last-mile delivery. Always available. As Oman's leading warehouse provider, our extensive network offers storage and distribution for dry, ambient, chilled, and frozen goods. Always advancing. Our global freight forwarding network reaches over 90 geographies across 6 continents, offering faster and more reliable freight forwarding solutions via land, air, and sea. Always assured. Our integrated systems provide end-to-end visibility and real-time tracking, seamlessly integrated with your business. Always ahead isn't just a promise, it's our standard. Asyad Logistics. Fast forward your business.